the race. So much upside to many of these, so I'm looking forward to the contest.
One is Rezak, who's one of a number who are Super Vobis qualified here and is one of the equal favourites at $5. Jai McNeil aboard for Greg Urell.
Well, he measured up really well, didn't he, in that $100,000 gold Eureka at Ballarat. I think the mile certainly looks suitable on to my eye, and yeah, good young apprentice on board, right in the mix, second pick for me.
2 is Unbreakable. He's had a fairly lengthy campaign now, this gelding by Hard Spun for the Godolphin team, John O'Shea and Patrick Maloney. 7 out to 750 on track.
He stuck well at Moonee Valley. That was his first go at the mile. No, they ran a class record. Drawn out's probably a plus. I just wondered if he'd be looking for further sooner rather than later, but better for the first go at the mile. And as I say, I'm glad to see him drawn out, not in, because I'm not sure how comfortable he was inside them there at the Valley, Adam.
Okay. Edrak is very lightly raced, just lining up for his third race start today. All this preparation for the Hayes Dabinick team. Luke Curry aboard, takes the ride for the first time and is $8 and steady in the market.
He was good late on debut. The problem for him here is Harden certainly had the better of him. That was 1,200 though, this a mile. Went to 1,300 at Geelong and actually won pretty well. Beat King amongst many, who wasn't disgraced here on Saturday. And third was Septimore, who has run well twice since, including earlier today.
And we've got that Septimore form line popping up again shortly with another one of the favourites. But firstly, Hard Earn, number 4, is the mount of Damien Oliver here for David Brideoak. $4.60 out to $5. So we're sharing the top line of betting.
Yeah, impressed beating Erdak to my eye, and well supported to do it. That was Mornington Maiden second up. Went to the Valley, beat all bar one. A little bit of spunk, and this horse was terrific. Well backed, came wide against the pattern. And a little bit of spunk has since failed, inverted commas, but shared the speed, had no peace on a swoopers track. That was the Kraken race at Moonee Valley, so, and that ties in with Unbreakable, of course.
So we scratch 5. Then we get down to 6 Manhattan Boss. Now, this was very well fancied at Echuca at a meeting that I was last start, and he's had a good 3 weeks, maybe even a touch more from that run to today. Peter Morgan and Craig Widdowson train him, and Linda Meach keeps the ride after winning on him at Echuca.
And beat a good one, at least a good 2-year-old in Petrarca that day, and was well back to do it. You mentioned that was 9 weeks between runs there. Debut wasn't far off a horse called Ragnar, and was wide and did a lot wrong that day. He's got a future.
And is $8 out to $9 in the market on track there, Manhattan Boss. So this is the other runner with the Septimore form line gator, siding spring number 7. Matty Allard and Simon Zara train him. Damien Lane is the pilot today and is the other $5 equal favourite.
Look, it was a good win. He raced away from Septimore late. We've mentioned that form already. And long gap to third. They had a track record for a couple of hours. We've touched on all of that. The problem is lining him up with key rivals like Harden and co. Well, their form lines are clearly stronger. Taking a line through Erdak, who Harden thrashed. Erdak then beat Septimore. So, I mean, if it was all this easy, we'd be millionaires. But the market just seemed wrong to me.
You wouldn't reduce the emphasis of that Septimore form line, even though he was beaten earlier today?
No, he ran well, but I'm saying tying into relative to this race, where Hardern's beaten Erdak, who's beaten him, how does Siding Spring... He needs to improve, from what I've seen, to beat those two. That's
okay. 8 is Sun Thunder, who's a $21 chance. Now, he crossed the line almost alongside of Hard-Earn in that race at Moonee Valley last time out. Chris Simon's aboard for the Allard and Zara team.
Yeah, I guess the difference was that Hard-Earn came wide against the pattern, and this guy was every possible closer to that inside section. And Hard-Earn perhaps has more scope, given he was jumping in trip there. So behind him...
Then we go down to Kryptonian, which is number 9, who's in the market, $7 out to 8. Couple of gear changes today with Mark Zara on.
Yeah, well, he'd won on heavy ground in the past. He actually won his maiden at Ballarat on very heavy ground one day back in May last year, or this year it was, but he was an abject failure on the heavy ground at Flemington. The Geelong run prior, it was luckless and may well have tested Bajura's favourite, so an improved effort's likely.
I think of all the races run during Flemington that week, I think the race that Kryptonian ran in was under the worst conditions of any race that week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty nasty.
So I think that's a forgivable run.
Sure.
Xander's Porsche is number 10, who's a $41 chance, but a last start winner for Clint McDonald and Ryan Maloney. Yeah,
not a bad win at all. The Wodonga was 1,100 to 1,400 as well, and 5 weeks between runs, so there's got to be scope off that.
And the bottom one is Nargas, who was scratched from a race at Geelong on Sunday and goes around here. $17 out to 20 for Peter Moody and Daniel Stackhouse.
Blinkers went on it to Chura out to the mile and was certainly sound, beating 25 Kisses narrowly. There is a subsequent winner from that race, and I don't think I'll be potting the young Moody horses on the way up after Saturday.
OK, runners are heading out. What are your top four here, Gator?
No, pretty keen. Harden's the one to beat in a really competitive race. Rezac comes through the best race.